Hey guys, it's Zenith Darksky. I know I haven't done a video in a while and I apologize. I've just mainly been focusing on my streaming stuff over on twitch.tv/ZenithDarksky, and I also stream every Saturday on twitch.tv/PrimaGames where we stream horror games and we have a good time over there. Having said that, also I've been doing more of the conversational videos and stuff recently. There just hasn't been a whole lot I particularly wanted to talk about, but that changed here last week or so. Amazon published this game made by Relentless Studios. It's called Crucible, and it's pretty great to me. Now, I know a lot of people aren't so up there with Crucible, and there, a lot of people, because of the initial release, there were a lot of issues with Crucible day one, and that's a bad thing. I agree. I waited a few days to a week or two here to do a review on Crucible because I wanted to see how it was going to be handled. Admittedly, when it came out, I jumped on it and I really liked it. I didn't have really any issues except for day one. We just had some issues with getting into the game, and it was a little clunky and stuff here and there, but the actual gameplay, when I actually got into a game, when I actually got into a match with my friends, we had a blast. We loved it. I know a lot of people were like, oh, but it's not as fun as Overwatch or blah, blah, blah. You've got to understand, Crucible is not a normal team shooter. I know that it's being called a team shooter. That's being thrown around. That term is being thrown around with it. The game is not a team shooter at all. It's a MOBA. In fact, it is way more of a MOBA to me, and everyone has a tendency to say, oh, this is a team shooter, this is a team shooter, just because of the perspective. Because a MOBA on traditional MOBAs right now, and the ones I'm using as an example here are League of Legends, Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, Battle Right, if you want to go that far. People are calling this team shooter because it's third person, not third person isometric, it's just a third person camera. You've got your character right here, and then you've got the camera right here behind it. You've got to understand that just because of the camera angle, that doesn't make it any less of a MOBA. MOBA is what type of game it is. Multiplayer, online, battle, arena. That's 100% what Crucible is. Now, I know not everyone's arguing Crucible's team shooter or anything like that. There's no grand argument over it. I just wanted to kind of zone in on my feelings about the game now that I've covered some of the things that are kind of controversial about it. Not really, but kind of argumentative about it for sure in the community. First off, the look of Crucible, just the graphics, the animation, the aesthetic of Crucible reminds me a lot of a game that many of you probably don't know called Paragon. Paragon was a MOBA being created, third-person shooter MOBA, being created by Epic Games when Fortnite got big. Fortnite blew up, or Battle Royale, I should say, blew up. They canceled Paragon because it obviously, comparatively, was not doing near as good as Fortnite. The aesthetic of it was very similar to Crucible. Just the look, overall look and feel of it was very similar to Crucible, except Crucible took out the traditional MOBA elements, the towers, the towers, the cores, all that stuff. They took that out. They took out the lanes. Although some would argue, I'm sure, that there's still technically lanes on Crucible, but I wouldn't say that it's lanes. It's way too many areas to be lanes to me, and more of an open arena for sure. Either way, so I really like the aesthetic. I like the look. The animations are fluid. The animations are very, very nice. That was one of the things to me that stuck out when I played the game the first time. I was having issues getting into the match, and there was a little bit of clunkiness in the menu and stuff. But then when I got into the game, I was like, oh my god, this game plays very, very well, actually. Very good. I like this game, big peepee. But it just had problems with the connectivity, the matchmaking, and stuff like that. Well, since then, and you guys can't see it, I don't have it pulled up on the screen or anything, but over here for you. But they released an update, literally a patch a day after it released, with no patch notes or anything, just a patch a day. I had to download like something small every day. And recently they've released a couple bigger patches too, fixing, bugs with enemies or not enemies, with characters, champions, whatever you want to call them. Changes to the game modes, throwing in an in-game scoreboard, which is something people really wanted. There's no voice chat in the game or text chat, and they're working on getting voice chat in there first. They said they were going to wait and release them at the same time, but people really want that way to communicate, so they're going to release it voice chat first, then text chat, because that's the way it's easier for them, I guess. And they've changed so many things. They've added gameplay tips, they've added tool tips, they've updated the prestige borders and progression leveling and stuff to be more clear. They've fixed countless bugs. They've changed the matchmaking system. They've implemented network fixes. Everything. It's insane how much they've already done to Crucible. And they said in one of their development videos, the developer videos, these guys are very, very passionate about their game. And that's another thing that makes me really like Crucible so far, is these guys are very, very passionate about their game. They released a developer video being like, we hear you, we understand 100%. That's why they go on to say that is why they released a game in a preseason. This first season in the game is a preseason. They wanted you guys to be able to give them feedback so they would know, okay, this is our first game like this, let alone Amazon's first attempt publishing a game like this. So let's just go ahead and throw it out so that the people can say, dude, we do not like this because of this or this or this. And so they have. People complained, and they've been updating. They've been updating countless, like insane amounts. And what really hurts my feelings, though, about this game is I love the game. I very, very much so love the game. But the reviews are still very mixed. A lot of people saying waste of time, stuck between trying to be a MOBA and a shooter but fails at both, not buying anything from Amazon ever again. And this is one of the things that really gets me. This guy also says bullet sponge. Let me go ahead and tell you guys again, it's meant to be more of a MOBA, not a shooter. So yeah, the enemies are going to be a little bullet spongy. And this is a thing I've never really understood, why people complain when things are bullet spongy. I recently, when I was talking about Bleeding Edge, complained about the time to kill on Bleeding Edge because it took a lot of damage to kill anybody, and a lot of times they would still get away. I don't have that problem on this game. Yeah, the PvE can be a little bullet spongy when you get down to Heart of the Hives and you're fighting in the hives, or even some of the PvE enemies in general. Some of them are a little bullet spongy, yeah. But, again, if you've ever played a MOBA, it takes a lot to jungle and kill those creatures inside. It takes a lot of damage. People are thinking of this game as a shooter, and it simply is not. It is a MOBA with shooter mechanics. That's what I would say at the end of the day. And it makes me very sad to see all these very bad reviews and stuff for it. And I hope these people do come back and you know, end up changing it. But I mean, I'm looking at reviews here that one guy said had played an hour. One guy played half an hour. Another guy played half an hour. Another one played a little over 2. The good reviews are the ones that are 11 hours played, 15 hours played, 9 hours played, 47 hours played, 33 hours played. These are people that actually gave the game a chance to live. They didn't just write it off immediately. And that's a very bad habit that we have in the gaming community right now, where people will take a game at face value right when it comes out, they condemn it, they decide that they do not like the video game, and then they'll go on with their day like nothing ever happened. Like, oh, fuck it, I'll go back to play the same old boring game that I played for 3 to 4 years and probably anything won't ever touch it to me because I can't accept change. I can't accept a different game and accept the fact that the game that I like, Overwatch, probably wasn't amazing when it came out. Because I don't know if any of you remember, but when Overwatch came out, it had some issues. It obviously didn't have the Crucible issues. I'm never going to say that it didn't, or that it did. It had its own issues. It had a little matchmaking issues. It had bugs, balancing issues for sure. You know, all games do. Call of Duty, every time a Call of Duty game comes out, people complain about everything. I do too when a new Call of Duty comes out, but I don't quit playing it. We live in a world where games are treated as a service now, no longer a single product. That can be a bad thing or a good thing depending on how you take it. If you want a game to be perfect every single time it comes out, then maybe the games you should be playing are single player games that are meant to be the final product when they come out. Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out, probably. That one's a guess, but still. All I ask of you guys is just to hear me out when I say this game has been changed a lot. It is very well done. They consistently, I mean consistently, keep up with updates. I mean, I have an update almost every day, small updates too. Not like Call of Duty where even patches are a couple hundred megabytes. These are 60 to maybe 100 megabytes until it's a big update bringing in-game leaderboards or this or that. You can think what you want to think of the game at the end of the day, and that's fine. All I'm saying is, per my review, my feelings, my opinion on this game definitely deserves a second chance from some of you that just dropped it immediately. And if you haven't tried the game out, this is me telling you, maybe try it out. But don't go into it trying it out if you're thinking it's going to be an Overwatch competitor, because it's just not. It's not Overwatch. Overwatch is far more casual. Enemies are less bullet spongy and stuff like that, and that's not a bad thing. Overwatch is a fine game. But it is not Crucible, and Crucible is not Overwatch. Crucible is not Paladins. Those are hero shooters. Those are team hero shooters. This is not a hero shooter. It is a MOBA with shooter mechanics. And that's all I ask of you guys, to come into this game and say, tell yourself, oh, this is a MOBA. I'm supposed to play this like a MOBA. I'm supposed to CS. I'm supposed to farm the enemies so I can build experience for the team and we can all level up, get stronger, so that when we do clash against the other team, we can kill them easier. We have more of our abilities, are powered up at that point. And then there are damage amplifiers, health amplifiers, all these kinds of things where when you take them and look at them, you're like, oh, these are MOBA things. These are things where I killed the dragon on League of Legends, so now our damage is up. Or I killed the red dragon on League of Legends, so our damage is up now. Or I killed this enemy in the jungle, so our regen is up, and blah, blah, blah. That is what you're supposed to take away from this game. This is a MOBA at the end of the day. But it makes me so sad to see that this many people have already dropped off. The game's peak players so far were 10,000. And now, as of an hour ago, 1,483 people were playing it. From 10,600 to at an all-time peak to 1,400, and its 24-hour peak is 2,100. And I'm not saying 10,000 is a bad or a high number, but this is definitely not enough to keep a game alive. Realm Royale, which is a game that I've played consistently on my streams before because I'm pretty good at it, has stayed alive with this kind of a number, but I don't know if this game will. Now, having said that, it is published by Amazon, so if Amazon has the time and patience, and I'm sure they've got the money to handle it, then we might see this game make a complete 180 in anywhere from a month to a year of people being like, oh man, this is a really good game actually. And I hate to see that Crucible, and I don't want to say it, but most likely for the title of this video, to really draw attention, I've used something like Crucible is dying, or a dying game, or something like that. And it sucks though. It sucks that I can do that. It sucks that I can clickbait the title like that, because this is a very well done game and it needs to continue to get the player base that it deserves. I think it deserves a way higher player base. We've seen the issues from Blizzard. We've seen them doing some very, very shady things in the past. Why don't you give someone, and I'm not saying Amazon's a better company, by the way. I'm not taking any sides on that. I'm not the type of brand to come over here and tell you, hey, don't play this company's games because they're bad people. We've all done shady shit. We've all done bad shit. All I'm saying is maybe take a break from Overwatch. Try this game out. If you at least have a respect for MOBAs, not hero shooters, and maybe try this game out and give it more of a chance than people have been giving it, for sure. Either way, so if you're looking for my review of the game, it is great. It had its problems at first. It still has a few bugs that need to be kinked out and matchmaking issues, but honestly, a lot of those matchmaking issues will get fixed when the player base raises back up, when the player base rises, because more people will be playing, it'll be easier to matchmake. That's just how it is. And unfortunately, it can't do that at the moment. And I hate that. I really do hate to see that. Anyways, tell me your guys' thoughts and opinions on Crucible now. Not when you started, but tell me your thoughts and feelings on it now. Because if I see in the comments where someone's like, well, when I played it, I couldn't even get into a game, so I stopped playing it. You're part of the problem, brother. You're part of the problem with the game. Go back and try to play it again. Give it a second chance. Games deserve a second chance just as much as people or anything else do. Okay, so go back, try the game again, see if you like it. Sometimes it might just not be your game. Maybe it's not. And if you want to leave a comment saying, yeah, it's just not my thing, fantastic. It's good to hear from you and know that at least you have your mind made up. Is this your kind of game? Is it not? Not based on bugs, not based on anything like that, but based on lore, aesthetics, gameplay. And I didn't even touch on lore because the lore is crazy good. The background history writing on this game is crazy good to me. So leave a comment down below on what you think of the game right now. Want to share your positive experiences for the game as well, or negative, whatever. Hit like on the video if you like me or the video. Don't go hitting dislike just because I like the game and you don't. That's a difference of opinion. That doesn't mean the video is bad or good or whatever. And share the video around and get your friends and stuff like that, their opinions on it as well. And also just to kind of build some more attention for Crucible, because I don't want to see this game die already. I really don't. I stream this game on my channel at least a few times a week, and I really enjoy it. I really have a good experience with this. I play with some other people who have good experiences with it as well over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZenithDarksky. And be sure to hit that sub button for more content, because more content is always on the way. It's always on my mind. Sometimes I just decide maybe I shouldn't make a video about that video game because it's just not where it needs to be, or I would just be opening it up to this or that, you know. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.